Today's episode of the Landing Space Podcast revolves around audience and your ability to grow your audience and your attention to your business.
So Justin, how do you build your audience for your company? Whether social media or what other platforms do you use to get your name out there?
One of the things that we like doing at 19 East Realty is using YouTube as a way to build our audience. The reason why I love YouTube as an audience builder is because you can share that pretty much across the board. So let's say that one of my agents has a new listing. We actually have a new listing for one of my agents coming live in Lillington, which is a small community outside of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Keith Hills is a golf community there, and we have a listing that's coming live on Friday. What we can do is we can shoot a video of the agent talking in front of her listing about the property. Then we get the photographer or videographer to go through and shoot a walkthrough video and share some of that information. We drop that on YouTube under 19 East Realty. She shares that, and then we promote that through advertising, but both on Facebook and YouTube to get that out there. We will also take that video and drop it into the local Facebook pages. The key to sharing your information on local Facebook pages is that they have a big audience. A lot of people pay attention. They'll get notifications within Facebook for that. And so you'll get that listing to go out. I love Facebook, using Facebook Marketplace or Facebook communities as a way to share your business. So, and honestly, do not do it all the time. So don't oversaturate that business because you'll get blocked. People turn it off. They won't
spam.
They won't pay attention to it. But doing it occasionally, like saying, hey, on Friday, I'm going to post in this site with this information. Hey, we've got a special going on. We're selling this. We're selling that. Whatever you want to do, but doing it once a week, maybe twice a week, not twice a week, maybe every 2 weeks for it is a good way to get your information out there and share that with people. And you'll get people they'll pay attention and see that and do that. But I like doing that whenever we have a new listing coming on. They drop it out there. It's a quick push. You'll get people that'll comment on it. People will say, hey, we want to see it. And that's an easy way for us to build that audience specifically for that product that we have in order to get some stuff. What's an idea that you like going on?
Well, we kind of use YouTube as well. Since being in healthcare, we use the platform, all the social media platforms. But the way we use it is we use videos because videos are great. Like we use Powtoons, right? Powtoons basically create animated video.
Okay.
It's super simple to use. Just an awareness of whether it'll be sleep apnea. We choose a topic once a month or something, and it's like sleep apnea 1 month or heart disease 1 month, and we create a video. We have a guy that will create a video that, and it's just like 30 seconds to 45 seconds, a minute at the most.
Yeah.
But the great thing about that is you can take that video and post it in what you said. Put it up on a Google ad or YouTube ad. Put it up on a Facebook ad. It just builds awareness. And then you can share your link to different not platform groups on Facebook, right? So Facebook, you have a lot of, and Facebook's great because especially Facebook ads, you can target your audience.
Right.
You can target your audience for me, like for example, sleep apnea and heart disease. Who are the ones that really need to look at this video? Well, truck drivers. They have to have a sleep study in order. Federal law, you have to have a sleep study in order to be driving on the road to make sure you don't have sleep apnea. So you can target, you can select your target as far as who really needs these types of services. So, and it's just an information platform. It's not really telling them about the service. It's just awareness. Hey, you can look at our website. So we link our website to it to get more information about what services we offer if they're close to that area. But basically just putting awareness out there, not of basically for our company, but of the ailment or whatever disease that may be basically the biggest thing in America right now is heart disease.
Right.
So sleep apnea has a lot of influence for heart disease. So just bringing awareness to it, but utilizing all the platforms nowadays. That is the biggest thing that will more beneficial than anything now.
Yeah, the awareness thing I think is key. Because I think that when you're doing let's say that we're marketing for clients.
Right.
And one of the things you can do is you can say specifically the search name. So when you're searching for something, you're typing in what you're looking for, right? So let's say that I'm searching for homes in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Right.
And so I'm going to type in homes in Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, because I know that that's probably how you're going to search, if I dropped a video that says the 3 things you need to know when buying a home in Raleigh, North Carolina, then I can do a video based off those 3 things you need to know, and that'll pop up in that search, and it's free because you'll see that, you'll click on it, and then if I link that back over to our website where you're seeing the agents and you're able to search for homes around Raleigh, North Carolina, that's an easy way for me to grow that audience and to get that business, because I can say the 3 things you need to know when buying a home in Raleigh, North Carolina. I can say 1, you need to know the area you're looking for. 2, you need to know, your drive time to work, because the house is only 2 miles away from where I need to go.
Yeah.
Well, if it's 2 miles away and you're in downtown, a big difference in the amount of time it's going to take there if you have to jump on a freeway or a toll road or something like that to get there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that in order to give people information. And you can change that video up too, but it's constantly searchable on YouTube for that sort of stuff. And I love using something like that to help build your audience.
Yeah, and nowadays visual tools are what's gonna catch your audience, right?
Right.
So that's the hardest part. That's the first thing you gotta try to think about when you're trying to expand your audience. You gotta first try to get them interested.
Right, and keyword searches are key for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
They're perfect for that. They narrow it down, but also you gotta think about your ad. If you're making a video, or just not even if you want just to do like TikTok, and you got YouTube Shorts now. A 10-second video, which it could just be a random background, but words go in there. Words are catching too. You got to select your words. You don't necessarily have to put all this effort into getting like an advertisement type of thing. Just using words. It's amazing what PowerPoint now, or just some of these simple platforms that are free that you get on YouTube, that you can post on YouTube to create YouTube Shorts or Reels for Facebook. A lot of those things get like millions of views.
Yeah.
And that's how you want to get them. I've seen a lot of them that they talk about 3 different key things, like you said, but on the bottom of it, it tells you where to find out for more. I think the key thing is the first thing to build your audience, you got to first try to capture their attention.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I think the next thing is being consistent with what you're doing, right? So capture your audience and then be consistent in what you're doing. So you say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to capture my audience, but I'm going to do YouTube videos. Well, if you do one YouTube video and drop it onto your single site and that's all you've got, you aren't being consistent with that. Yeah. So you need to lay out your plan in order to capture that audience and be consistent with whatever you want to do. So if you decide that, hey, I'm going to grow my audience and I'm going to do this by doing YouTube videos, then you need to have 50 or 60 YouTube videos, and you need to do that consistently over time. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get with it and the better it's going to be.
Yeah, and if you're going to push your videos to different groups or to capture more audience, don't do it like Justin said earlier. Don't spam it.
Right.
Don't spam it. If the way to do it is to organize it. You can set up a time one day during the week at a specific time and just let your audience know we have new videos dropping this month. If that's the type of industry that you like. For example, if you want to be a YouTuber, a lot of YouTubers they tell you, hey, this, because that's a lot of YouTubers, that's basically their business. It's how they earn an income. But for somebody that has physical businesses like us, we try to grow our audience, but at the same time, you don't want to spam them. So being consistent and being organized with it without being spammy with it, you can't, I don't even know if that's the word, but just a lot of people will see too much of your ads and they get tired of it. Just like little kids, they see the same toys over and over again. Sometimes they sit there and don't play with it anymore, right?
Yeah.
So my wife, she rotates the toys. She'll put some out for a month and then take those and swap it out with ones that my kids hasn't seen before. And that's the same thing with people. When you get too repetitive, you lose interest in it. So being consistent, but at the same time, don't spam your audience.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think some people are uncomfortable with video. I know that I have an agent that can hate the way that they look on camera. And so my suggestion on that is to do a blog post about it too, because those are so searchable also. And you can do that easily, write your blog post. But the key here is just to do it. So to do something and stay consistent with it as long as you're doing it, write your blog post and then get people to share that for you, right? all of us have friends. All of us know somebody that would be willing to, as soon as you post that or as soon as you upload that, whatever you do with it, find somebody that'll share it also. You do the Facebook post with it or the Instagram post or the TikTok post with it. I know you hate TikTok, but the TikTok post with it, wherever you put that out there, have people that will automatically share that also on all their social media sites too. And that's an easy way to get other eyes on your material. Like for us specifically, if one of our agents posts something on Facebook, we ask the other agents in the firm to share that also. So then we've got multiple people that are sharing that information, especially when we're talking about a new listing or if an agent's looking for a specific area for a house and can't find it. The more eyes that get on that and the more people that share that, the more possibility that we will get that sold for the firm, which is good for everybody involved.
Yeah, and you want to look at who you are targeting, your target audience, what age difference you have. Like you have some old, like for me, for my business, we have some older people. They don't like social media.
Right.
Yeah, they hate social media, but there is such thing as newspapers and magazines still. Right?
Yeah.
Which is, we know a certain person that have reeled me in to try to do an advertisement for their magazine. So, and a lot of the older people, old school people, they don't like social media. They don't really want to have to deal with it because it constantly changes. They don't want to deal with the change. They're kind of set in their ways, which is nothing wrong with that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
So you want to target them as well if they benefit your company. So for me, I put ads out there for newspapers still. And a lot of it you can find packages for different marketing companies, but you know what? It's easy. It's really not that hard. I mean, you go, like I learned how to do all that stuff, how to negotiate with a company to put an ad out there yourself without going through a marketing company. And you know where I learned all this stuff was just building your audience, and go to Skillshare. Skillshare actually has a lot of information how to build your audience, and it's whether it be social media or just tactics. I mean, there's so many different platforms, but for us, this is what works for us, right?
Yeah, so understanding your audience and who you're going after is key to being able to build that, right? So you need your ideal client. You look at your past business or the businesses you're trying to grow, and you say, man, if I could have this person walk through the door, this person buy my product, that would be key to the growth of my business. So you always need to have the idea of who your ideal client is. And then once you have that idea of your ideal client, you can figure out where they're at. Right. And once you figure out where they're at, then you need to be in that place. So if your ideal client is a 27-year-old hairstylist, then you obviously need to be spending time at hair studios and hair places in order to try to get that client. And you need to be putting out information that will attract them to your business. If you're selling a hair product, then obviously that's where you need to be. But the key is understanding your product, understanding your audience, and figuring out where they're at. And as long as you can do those 2-3 things, I believe you can grow any business that you're trying to do with that ability. And then getting out there. And I think the face-to-face contact is something that we lack today more than ever did before 2020. That we aren't getting that face-to-face interaction, and that's something that we need to get back into. Yeah. And that you need to be spending time with people, because people will help promote your business without even knowing that. If they like you, they will promote your business without you even doing it. You say, hey, this is what I do. They like you. They'll tell somebody, and that'll be out there. With our side hustle business, which is Bounce and Land, good customer service has got us more referrals than we can possibly imagine. Yeah. And being honest and open and sharing stuff and just being kind will get us more business, and we don't have to market for it because we have constant referrals from the parties we drop stuff off for, and we make business through that.
Yeah, I actually gained more clients that way as well, just word of mouth, knowing the spreading the word from your services that you've worked with a client. That client tells somebody else. I have that consulting firm that I started, and I didn't think it was going to blow up, but word of mouth got it to where it is now.
Right.
And it's actually, that's the biggest thing. That's the original way people advertise.
Yeah.
When you talk about growing your audience, it's really just another form of marketing. You want to market, it's the same thing. Marketing is bringing people to bringing awareness to what services you offer, right?
Yeah.
So, and some things, if you want to do low cost marketing, I know if for starting companies, go in Vistaprint, print out a little decal, put in your car. Just driving around, just that could bring awareness. That's the purpose of having all these wrapped, fans with company logos on it.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that kind of money, you still want to build your audience and bring clients yourself. Everybody, if you have a car, spend like $15 to $50 or something. Put some decals in your car, magnetic or whatever it be, of your company, of your service. You have a lot of cleaning people out there putting like decals in their back of their windows, right, on their car, the rear window.
Yeah, they'll drop business cards off on our mailboxes.
Yeah,
so they'll walk through the neighborhood and put business cards. And I took it, looked at it, threw it away because we already have a cleaning lady. But I guarantee they probably got 5 or 6 houses by just dropping those off. Somebody called them. Somebody was like, hey, my house does need to be cleaned. They have an introduction. And with the business card, I think the key thing is to do something that catches the person's attention, because your name and phone number are on your business card, and it's not one of those things that's going to drag anybody to you, right? They've got to keep it. But putting something on the business card that says, hey, we do a free home warranty with anybody that uses us to purchase. That's an enticing offer that's on the back of that business card, and that'll get somebody to call you. With the cleaning service, we do 10% off for the first clean. Well, now I've got an enticing offer and a reason for me to hang on to that business card. Hey, we do 10% off for the first clean with proof of that you received this business card. Well, now I'm hanging on to that business card because they're going to give me 10% off, put it in the drawer instead of throwing it away, because I'll pull that up and use it later, and I'm going to have to show them that card. But that keeps that card that might go in that trash as soon as you get it with somebody that puts it in there, and then they're cleaning out the drawer and they're like, man, I don't really want to clean my house. And there it is. And so then they might make that phone call instead of tossing. But I think having something that'll catch your eye and will give you something will cause your business card to have a longer life cycle than what it would normally have.
Yeah, exactly. And my business card, actually, I ask them, and it's I have 2 different types of business cards. I have a general business card just with my information on it, and I have another business card that tells my business information. And that business card starts off with a question: are you constantly tired during the day? Yeah. Ask a question that makes people think. Right. Like, because not a lot of people, and I mean, some people are like, no, I'm not tired. But those are people, they don't probably need your service. Yeah. But somebody that's constantly tired during the day, you're not getting sleep at night. Or you can say, do you constantly get headaches, migraines? Or they might have some heart issues. Or there's other ailments. Ask a question that'll capture them. This is one way that I do it. There's different ways to do it. This is what works for me. Asking one question, putting it on a card, and kind of alternate it. You got different cards, but it'll make people think. It's like, hey, yeah, I do have that problem. And they'll go to your website and explore why possibly you have that problem and what you could do with it. Be more informative on your websites. That way, if you do stuff like that, let them be able to go to a landing page that has information for whatever that question you put on your card is. Yeah. But there's so many different options out there. The key thing is I think really what ultimately this boils down to, bringing audience. When you decide what platform you're going to use, how you want to get your audience, what you said earlier, consistency is, I think, the biggest key in this whole conversation. Right. Being consistent with it, but at the same time, don't spam everybody. But being consistent as far as advertising, bringing people to your company, and being more informative. Don't just try to sell yourself. Give information to your clients. Give information to the audience that they could use, even if they don't come to you for a service or as a client. Get them something to think about. Like for your business, you're in real estate. It's like, have you ever thought of selling your house? Do you know what your house is worth? Right. Make them think. Like, yeah. Because people nowadays, they don't keep, say for somebody that's like in their 50s and they don't have any more children, they might want to downsize, they have a huge house, but they don't know what the market is right now. And you send them a card or a mailer or something and say, have you ever thought of selling your house? Do you know what your house is worth? Right. And we see a lot of those. Yeah, we have a website that's specifically dedicated at 919homevalue.com. And you can jump on there and search, and it'll pull up a thing that'll give you a automated, basically just a snapshot of what we think your house would sell for if you sold today. Yeah. And it's one of those easy things to do with the mailer, or put it on a business card and just pass it out there. Yeah. Well, that's all for today's episode of the Landing Space Podcast. You can find us on YouTube or any of the streaming podcast services that you're listening to.